Well. We're back again. You thought you could get rid of us, eh? But
Never.
after last week, nah. We've got too much to talk about. Also, Mr. Archibald might have made someone a very rich person, which is with his prediction of the Fijian game. But we'll get into that later. Hi, Archie.
Yeah, all good news, Senzo.
I'm well, thank you. Jeez.
Vibes,
Interesting week of rugby, eh?
Let me tell you, the Rugby World Cup is spicy as all nothing. I mean, to be fair, we only had one game in round 2 that was worth watching. We're going to get into it in the next little bit. Australia, Fiji.
Yeah.
Listen, I take my bribes in coffee. So you can send them straight to the working title FC RFU at gmail.com. I think we have that. I think we have sort today. I don't know if we got that Gmail open yet.
All right.
So we'll see what happens.
That's it.
Biggest thing for me before we get into sort of results and stuff is prior to South Africa playing against Romania, is Malcolm Marx getting injured
Oh, jeez, bro.
at the practice, and he's out.
Yeah, he's
He's
done.
not playing in another World Cup game. Likely to be out for months on end. They haven't told us exactly what the knee injury is, but I'd imagine it must be a ligament tear, MCL, ACL, PCL, LCL, whatever they are.
But I just feel like I think they're also trying to manage, like, people's expectations and all that. Right now we're trying to win a World Cup. So,
Yeah,
like,
true.
Malcolm Marx is injured. He's not going to come back. We can deal with that after the World Cup. But, like, I like his replacement.
Who? Andre Paulo?
Yeah.
Well, 100%. But before we even get into that, my big question is, what does the losing of Malcolm Marx do? We played Romania on the weekend. We thrashed him. It was always going to happen. We had a few different things happen between Deon Fourie and Marco van Staden, who they're slotted there in the hooker role. But what does it do to the rest of the team, Senzo? Because Malcolm Marx is and hooker is a pivotal position, but Malcolm Marx is, and quote me on it, the best hooker in the world currently.
Yeah, true.
Even
true.
injured, he's the best hooker in the world.
Well, but like, look, I think we're a bit light in the hooker front, but like losing Malcolm Marx it's big because also he acts as a fourth loose forward with the way he gets the breakdown and the way he secures the ball. So yeah, we'll see against Ireland. For me, we're going to see against Ireland what really does, because against Romania it doesn't really tell you anything. And I mean, I did expect us to pump Romania.
Yeah,
it could have been more. It really could have been more. Because in the first half we made a couple of handling errors, but. Clean sheet is a clean sheet.
Yeah, it's a weird game, and I suppose all the other games were a write-off, other than maybe England and Japan, which was quite vital for England. But Ireland, Tonga, Wales, Portugal was closer than what Welsh fans wanted, 28-8. Which is, I think that's a joke. Anyway, Samoa 43-10, beating Chile, New Zealand thrashing Namibia. Did you see the injury?
To
the Namibian player?
No, bro.
Oh my goodness. I can't remember what his name is. Oh, I'm trying to get his name. But he broke his tibia. I think it was his right foot, but snapped in half.
That he's out for like a year.
No, it was disgusting. I chundered it.
He's out for like a year.
Anyway, you mentioned Andre Paulo. What do you think? We didn't go grab another hooker. We grabbed the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, well, I think if there's a position that we're gonna
Leroux Malan. That's who, bro. Shout out Leroux Malan. That's a lot of L's in there.
Yeah. He's got 2 surnames.
Yeah. 2 surnames, 1 name.
One leg.
One leg. And I saw a lot of the All Blacks players visited him in the hospital, which is
a nice touch.
Cool. Shout out
to them. But going back to your Pollard question, I think it's good, because I think if there's a position where we are going to need some consolidating in, especially when the going gets tougher, there's none better than Pollard.
No, 100%.
You've seen in the fly-off position, we've been playing Faf there, but Faf played well at fly-off.
Yeah, I think he can slot in. I mean, obviously, Manie Libbok is back against Ireland. Interestingly enough, Andre Pollard isn't in the plans for Ireland, despite being added to the squad this week.
Which is interesting.
I think it's the right call. We're also going with a 7-1 split on the bench for 7 forwards. I love that. I love Rassie, Rassie and Jacques Nienaber putting the middle finger to the World Rugby Union, who love to think that it's illegal, but it's not. If you don't have the kind of forward depth that the Springboks have, big whoop, okay? Go cry in the corner.
Exactly. But like, people are crying about the 7-1 split, but also we've made 13 changes. The only 2 people that are going to be starting in this Ireland game is Mbonambi and Willemse. But otherwise 13 changes. So
yeah.
I think we mean business.
No, 100%. It's definitely our A squad. And I also think, like, and I saw this on Twitter, and I sort of agree. I see where it's coming from, but I also kind of disagree. is the fact that adding Handré Pollard puts like a target on Manie Libbok's back. I don't think it does. I think Manie Libbok is slowly proving himself. I mean, what he did in that no-look kick, never mind being outrageously cool and lovely to watch, it was a game-defining moment.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
And if he can do more game-defining things, in no way do I see Handré Pollard starting in the number 10 jersey.
But I also think what Rassi and Jacques are trying to do, they try to take away the element of predictability, because like now, with us going with the 7-1 split, they're like, okay, cool. The Irish have never faced the Springboks with a fly-off like Manie Libbok, so they don't know really what to expect. And like, also I feel for the time that they were coaching in Ireland, I feel like we're well prepared. And also there's some wrongs to right from last year's outgoing tour that we've got a score to settle.
Where we had a lot of injuries as well. Like I actually watched highlights of that game this morning again just to get revved up and have a quick cry before the weekend. But I do want to see more of Manie Libbok. I do think against Tonga, Handré Pollard will get a run at 10, and I think that's the right thing to do to ready him for like the quarterfinals. And everyone was like, oh, Handré can't cover other positions, wada. Played fullback in his youth, played 12 for Tucks when they won 2 titles back-to-back in the Varsity Cup, and has won a World Cup at fly-off. Please, man can play flank if we want him to. He's 105 kilos.
So for those of you who don't know, this is the Springbok team to face Ireland. So number 1, Steven Kitsoff. At 2, Bongi Mbonambi. 3, Frans Malherbe. 4, Eben Etzebeth. 5, Franco Mostert. 6, Siya Kolisi. 7, Peter Steve du Toit. 8, Jasper Visser. 9, Faf de Klerk. 10, Manie Libbok. 11, Cheslin Colby. 12, Damien Delende. 13, Jesse Creel. 14, Kurtley Arendse. 15, Damien Willemse. Yeah, so, and the bench is Dion Fourie at 16, Oxenchair 17, Trevor Nyakane 18, Jean Klein 19.
Love that.
RG Sneeman 20, Marco van Staden 21, Kwagga Smith 22, Kobus Reinach being the only utility back.
Yeah, I think Kobus covers at least 2 positions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the 7-1 split is hard. Like, we can focus on the 7 forwards. We know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
7 forwards come off, 7 forwards go on, and that's how it's going to work out.
Yeah.
So, obviously the risk is if we get a couple injuries, and touch wood, hopefully we don't. But, you know, Kobus Reinach covers wing and scrum half. Cheslin Colby plays wing, fly half, and fullback.
That's right.
Damien Willemse plays 12, 10, and 15.
Yeah.
You know, Faf can move to 10. Kobus can play 9.
Absolutely.
You know, I think they have enough combos on the field. And if push comes to shove, and don't get me wrong here, Kwagga Smith at 12. Get in.
Are you
Do you know what I'm saying? Can you imagine the short ball line he'll run? Outrageous.
But also, people forget we've got Jean Klein. Jean Klein used to play for Ireland, so like,
yeah, he knows all the structures.
He knows all the structures, and like, if that's not a plus for us, then I don't know what is.
It's huge. So I was watching, you know, sort of, we have SuperSport here. They have like Virgin Media, BBC, all these.
Yeah.
So Rob Carney, who played 14 for Ireland for years.
Played forever.
Yeah, he might have had 100 tests. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he was pretty much saying like Ireland have never faced a real challenge really in the last 3 years, because I mean that side that we played against him last year wasn't our best side.
Absolutely.
It was maybe like a A- side, if not a B+ side. But a massive thing that they were talking about is that every time Ireland had been under pressure, whether it was the All Blacks or France or Wales or England or whoever, they've managed to go toe to toe with that other team, as in terms of physicality. So Josh van der Fleer, all those forwards going totally. You're not going to do that to the Springboks.
Springboks don't get bullied in that regard.
So Ireland will need to figure out a different way to win.
So, but like, do you think they can win with the kind of rugby they've been playing so far? Because they haven't changed their team. Basically, they haven't really changed their team. So, what do you think?
Well, listen, they're going to be a threat. I mean, Johnny Sexton is the sexiest silver fox in rugby right now. Let's be honest.
True.
Might be the only one as well. So numbers are low that side. But he's managed to build a team around him. Like you have great centers, you have a great loose forward trio. But I just don't think they can match up to South Africa in this game. That doesn't mean Ireland can't win the World Cup.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
anything can happen at a World Cup.
Exactly.
But Ireland have a good enough team. They're number one team in the world. We can't underestimate
they
that.
didn't get there by fluke, but
exactly.
Like, so
they won the Six Nations. They've
but the Six Nations was like, come on, bro.
I know it's just France that they had to beat.
Exactly.
Which I had my thoughts about France until Uruguay nearly beat them, and I was like, never mind. I'd love to face France at the Stade de France in the final and just absolutely dominate them. They'll be very sad. Very sad.
But the scary thing is that how people are undermining Manie Libbok, and I'm just like, they people don't know, and like.
Oh, he's so good.
Once we get go forward ball, I'm actually scared for like Ireland, because how do you play that kind of style for the Springboks and like be prepared for it? Because when we play against other teams, teams are like, okay, no, cool, we figured them out. And like you heard Sir Clive Woodward when we played the British and Irish Lions. Oh, our brand of rugby is rubbish. Well, if you can't beat it, you can't call it rubbish.
No, exactly. Well, that's the thing. And also now, like, we've added a different element. Like, that's where, I mean, Handré Pollard has been like a stalwart in this team. He's a World Cup winning fly half with a broken jaw. He played that entire final in 2019 with a broken jaw. Man is a legend, right?
Yeah.
But what Manie Libbok allows us to do on go forward ball is a completely different game.
Absolutely.
It's a different game. We have right now, I think Cheslin, Kirtley and Damien are all in the form of their lives, particularly Damien Willemse.
Yes.
Because if he's high,
anything.
but if he's high on confidence, Senzo, and you have two of the fastest wingers in the world on your left and right, you can't not
It's
score
devastating.
tries.
It's actually devastating because what people don't understand is that like now we're trying to change the dynamic and we're not that predictable anymore. Cool. We can play the ugly game if need be, but like as you said with Manie Libbok and like the flyers that we have outside, it's going to be going to be disgusting.
It's going to be I do think it's going to be a close one because, like we say, Ireland aren't number one in the world for no reason.
Yeah.
And as Springbok fans, maybe we are a little bit biased, but I just think if you just look at the forwards. Like if our forwards can get slight go forward ball,
it's game over.
And the way and the way Jesse Creel's defending at the moment, as our 13 is also massive. So I think it's going to be a big game. Prediction: Senzo, hit me. South Africa, Ireland, Saturday, 9 p.m. What's your prediction?
21-16 South Africa.
21-16 South Africa. I like that. I didn't have the numbers, now I have to work it out because I don't know how much we're going to score. Yeah, I like 21-16. Like the sound of it. I'm going to go 24-19, just for the gears.
Oh, okay.
Sort of same spread. Yeah. Same spread, because I do think it's going to be close. Like, there's going to be moments where we're going to lose our breath, but I think it's going to be a very good game.
For sure. Now, something that I alluded to earlier was your prediction with the Fiji game. Like, talk me through that game, bro. Talk me through it because...
Listen.
Wow, Australia. Gee whiz.
I mean, they're on, and I was watching the Good, the Bad, the Rugby podcast. They've done like an Australian version. I don't know if you've seen it. Sterling Mortlock, Drew Mitchell, and Matt Ghetto. It is iconic.
Yeah.
Anyway, Drew Mitchell actually just made such an important thing because in the post-match press conference, Eddie Jones was talking about how he takes full responsibility for this and he took a risk by taking a young squad and wada. And Drew Mitchell went off. He was like, listen, love Eddie Jones, played under Eddie Jones, did all these things. You know, Eddie Jones at the Brumbies. Eddie Jones has this big name in rugby. But explain to Australian fans why you left Quade Cooper, who is old but is in very good form currently, left Bernard Foley, left Michael Hooper, who, yes, is injured at the moment, but you could have carried him as a non-playing reserve for now, and he could have worked on his injuries. So Drew Mitchell sort of just said, like, you can't just say I take full responsibility for this loss and then not actually explain why you've taken such a young side.
Yeah.
That's the be-all and end-all. We said it ourselves, Senzo, you and I. Fiji can play a bit of structure, they can win that game.
Exactly.
They played a bit of structure and they won the game.
Exactly.
I think what this does is make that pool, I think it's Pool C, very, very interesting because this weekend, Australia play Wales. Now, if Australia get a bit of a monkey on their back and get their shit together, excuse my French, they get their shit together, they can beat Wales, Fiji finish 1 on top of Pool C.
Exactly.
Which for me would be epic because I just love Fiji.
but like Australia have the record of getting to the knockout rounds of every World Cup. So, you would fancy them to beat Wales because Wales, there's really nothing there.
Well, especially, I mean, their confidence has got to be low. I mean, they should have lost to Fiji, in all fairness.
Yeah.
They only beat Portugal 28-8.
Yeah.
Paulo's celebrating.
They're celebrating, yeah.
But, I mean, listen, it can go either way because that Aussie side, they'll be low on confidence. So either they figure their things out and go out and
they
dominate.
don't have much time.
They don't have much time. Yeah.
Exactly.
It could go either way because I don't think Wales is they're much over muchness kind of side, and I don't think this pool any of these teams from Pool C already feature past the quarterfinals. You know, I do think they'll lose out there, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting weekend. Wales Australia, we'll see what happens.
Now the other question that remains is where does England fit Ford and Farrell? Because Owen Farrell's back this weekend.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Stop playing Owen Farrell. I think he's crap. George Ford is a better manager of the game. He is a better kicker now because Owen Farrell sort of lost his percentages. Yeah. At one point, Owen Farrell's the best kicker in the world. I'll give you that. 3 years, 2016, 2019, best kicker in the world. But I just think George Ford proved himself in that Argentina game. Scored 27 points by himself. Yeah.
So he was 9 for 9 against Argentina and he was 6 for 7 in this past game. So what do you do if you're Stephen Borthwick? Like, what do you do?
I think you play George Ford. You either play George Ford at 10 and you play Owen Farrell at 12.
But Owen Farrell at 12 is... But
I'm saying
nothing.
only if you... No, I don't think there is. If you want Owen Farrell on the side, he plays 12. If you don't want him, he plays 22.
Oh, man.
Because I can't... you know, and it kind of frustrates me because I think George Ford makes England look a lot better than they actually are. Because I don't think there's any quality in that side. But Ford has managed in the last 2 games to build something or at least score some points on the back of pretty useless forwards, to be honest.
Yeah, but like, it's just much of a nothingness against for England. So it's just weird. Like,
yeah, I mean, they're going to get through. I think already. I think they're pretty much qualified because Argentina having a bit of a nightmare their side. But I think in England with a Chile bonus point win will guarantee themselves at least a quarterfinal, which we always knew was going to happen. There's barely any teams there. Argentina are pretty much glorified yellow cards at this point.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty easy pool. You know, it's the top side. It's the Pool A, Pool B. Those are the things we're going to focus on.
My question is that, like, I'm just not worried about Ireland. I'm a bit concerned because do you think they really know their best 15?
I don't know the Irish side very well, to be honest with you. I just think a guy like Sexton has proven himself time and time again. And if he can get go forward ball on forwards that are decent, probably the 3rd best pack in the world. I think France does have them beat in the pack side. Obviously, we have the best pack in the world. What he does with go forward ball, even if it's slight, is really, really impressive. So I don't know. I think Josh van der Fleer is still unbelievably good. But I there's no like names that stand out other than those two, to be honest with you. Yeah. In my mind, obviously.
Yeah. But do you know, with that being said, like, I've just discovered something because, like, when France played Uruguay, I was like, their second team is actually, like, their reserves are very shaky.
Trash.
So if that's why I say I don't mind either New Zealand or France. Like, you can bring either because, like, France showed us, like, okay, cool. Is this what you have in the reserve tank? And compared to our reserve tank, like, come on, bro.
Yeah, come on. No.
Listen, on. Like,
that's why I'm also, I think one of our biggest games, although we should win, or we will definitely win, one of our biggest games is Tonga. Because I think that's, you know, Romania's not a test. But our B side / C side against Tonga, at least physicality wise, we'll be able to gauge what we're going to take through to the quarterfinals. But even with that being said, our 7-1 split this weekend is going to prove that, because our 7 forwards coming off the bench are going to dominate. There's no doubt about it.
No, bro, they don't call it the bomb squad for nothing. And
exactly.
Like, imagine you have like Achia Sneeman coming off the bench. Like, that would scare me as well, because like Jean Klein was also like starting for Ireland. So like now for him to come off the bench, I mean, look, fair enough, he was never going to start for the Springboks. I mean, Mustard and
we have really quality locks, but they've done well bringing him in, hey?
Yeah,
like to sit with World Rugby and I mean, I know Rassie and Jacques like fought for him to be a Springbok, and that's epic for me, like just a story in itself. But for us, I mean, that's a huge win. You paid nothing for his training. He went straight to Ireland out of school, and now he's a Springbok. It's a beautiful thing.
No, it is. It really is.
Ship them out, let them train, bring them back for the national
Do you know what actually occurred to me? Makazole Mapimpi has 9 tries in like how many World Cup games, bro?
It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Well, unfortunately, not enough to get into the side, and I think the only thing he has against him, Makazole Mapimpi, despite being a prolific scorer, a prolific finisher. I mean, the amount of he'll take 4 or 5 hits and still get over the line.
Yeah,
exactly. He's brilliant.
Exactly.
But the fact that he can't play another position.
Yeah.
Cheslin Colby can play.
He's versatile. Yeah.
Kurtley Arendse has played fullback.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure he played scrum off at some point for the Bulls if there was a red card. So Kurtley Arendse has that going for him. And they're so prolific. I think we just have 3 such quality wings right now. Between your Kurtley Arendse, Cheslin Colby, and Makazole Mapimpi, all 3 of them are so good. That's the only thing against them.
But coming back to our game, I think, do you know it's going to be one? Loose forwards. Because that's where all the work's going to go down.
Yeah, hopefully Jasper Wiese can have a good game because he's vital for us.
Yeah, and there's a reason why they played him, because he wasn't the Guinness Premiership player of the season.
He's dominated overseas for years now.
Oh my word, it's gonna be
and our fearless leader Siamthanda Kolisi.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But 11 of the players who won in that 3-point win for Ireland last time, 11 of them are playing. So I feel like if there's anybody with an upper hand, it should be us. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think again, and I keep going back to it, but I just think our forwards are just so much better than most sides, if not all sides. Position for position, maybe Ardie Savia is better than Jasper Wiese.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe Josh van der Flier and Tom Curry are the same sort of level as Sia Kolisi. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Peter Steph du Toit as a ball carrier is probably the best 7 in the world.
Yes.
Doesn't move as well as other 7s.
Yeah.
But, so I think, I just think we have like for like, we dominate 99 times out of 10.
For me, people are making a whole big deal about this whole bonus point thing. I'm just like, dude, we didn't play Tonga first and all that. And people I was like, come on, Nooks. And all we have to do is just beat Ireland. If we beat Ireland, doesn't matter if the Ireland get a bonus point or. But at this stage, do you think Ireland would rather play New Zealand or France in the next round? If you're Ireland, because for us, not because I'm being arrogant, I don't think it matters.
Well, it doesn't. I was actually having this conversation with my dad. He was like, we should drop the game on Saturday.
I was also thinking because
we'd rather play France in the All Blacks in the quarterfinals. I don't really mind. I don't think France or the All Blacks can beat us in the quarterfinals or in the final, because I just don't. I don't see them dominating us as much as we'll dominate them.
So going back to the New Zealand performance against Namibia, what do you make of that? And how does that bode for them going into the final games? And what do you think they're thinking for the knockout round?
You mentioned earlier, does Ireland know what their best 15 is? The All Blacks definitely don't know what their best 15 is.
Yeah, exactly.
We've spoken extensively about Beauden Barrett last week.
Yeah.
We forget Damien McKenzie had the season of a lifetime.
Yes, and he played well against Namibia, controlling everything.
Exactly. So I don't think Will Jordan is playing 14. He's an incredible winger. He plays 15 for the Crusaders. Yeah. He's a fullback, and he's playing wing. The only person in his true natural position, other than Richie Mo'unga, is Mark Talia.
Yes,
the rest of them are just floating around, going, "What do we do? Where's Geordie Barrett for New Zealand?" I just think New Zealand are confused. I think Ian Foster's useless.
So you don't know David Havili?
I like David Havili. I just think Geordie Barrett's 6'6" or 6'5". 112 kilos.
Yeah, that's a man, bro.
And he's fast. He's fast as fuck.
For me, who I don't really see is Anton Leonard-Brown. I don't see what he offers different or what he could do.
I agree. It's got to be between Havili and Barrett to play 12.
And then 13, they're going to put Ioane there. But it's...
I think New Zealand are confused. However, they're still New Zealand.
That's the thing. You can never write them off.
Yeah.
You can never write them off because that's what I'm apprehensive about. Because cool, we beat Ireland and then we play New Zealand second. I'm just like you with New Zealand. With us in New Zealand, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. And I feel with that game, it's whoever gets on the board first.
Yeah. Then control the game.
That's where the momentum lies. And
I think we also got like when we played them in the warm-up game. Okay, we ended up dominating them, but in the weeks prior, to sit in someone's half for 20 or someone's 22 for 20 minutes and not score is incredibly worrying.
It is worrying.
So that does stress me out against New Zealand. I still think we have the firepower. But yeah, maybe the bet is we lose to Ireland by 3 and go and play France, because they must be down. They must be very sad after the Uruguay performance.
Oh well, how much do you think they're going to smash Namibia by? That's the question.
They're going to get angry, no doubt about it.
Oh, but how
80 points? 80 points,
and that's tonight.
That is tonight.
That's tonight. So,
hi, did you catch the Italy Uruguay game by any chance?
No,
crazy. Uruguay were 14-7 up.
14-7 up,
yeah.
And then the Italians just
came back.
They took out they parked the Fiat and took out the Ferrari, and
exactly,
because the final score here is it shows that there wasn't really much of a contest. 38-17. That's a decent win.
Yeah, listen, it's actually so funny because Italy are actually the top of their pool, which is a joke. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're like 12th in the world. And if they're not, they should be. They're actually top of their group.
Yeah, 10 points in 2 games.
Yeah, they've got lots of bonus points. So, I mean, will they beat France? Maybe. Will they beat? No, they won't beat anyone, let's be honest. They'll finish 3rd and cry. But it's cool that they're top of their pool after 2 games. That's pretty decent.
But also, if you look at Italy, the confidence that they're going to be going in with. So, do Italy play France first or do they play New Zealand first? Because if they play France first and they get close or even beat France, then because
they play New Zealand. They play New Zealand first. So they actually play New Zealand next week. Yeah, next week Friday.
Oh man,
I think they have a bye this weekend. Yeah, they do. So they played last night.
So it's a chance for them to. I don't know.
I would love that. Imagine Italy beat France.
If Italy beat France, it changes the tournament completely because now.
Well, then we'll play Italy technically because we're definitely beating Ireland.
Yes,
I'm just putting that out there. I want us to win every single game. I don't really care. We play in the quarterfinals. I have my preferences.
Yes.
But that'll be decided otherwise. Yeah, we will decide our own future and win every game.
Yeah, because also in a tournament like this, you don't want to lose and then have to go back to the drawing board. If you're winning, it's
just momentum every
and
single
you keep
week.
Going, you keep going. But this thing of having 5 teams in a group is actually not ideal because someone has to sit out a round of games, and I don't know if you're still cooking in your hot. I don't know if you want to sit out and
Well, I mean, luckily for us, we play week on week on week. Our bye is actually only at the end of the draw,
which is awesome.
Which is nice for us because then we know we can have a nice break before the quarterfinal. Not many huge games this weekend. I suppose Scotland-Tonga is kind of important, but they're. It all depends on Scotland. Have to beat Ireland if they want to get through. That's the only way they get through. They have to win everything else, but they have to beat Ireland.
Yeah, that's what they'll be banking on. But do you think for them, do you think they see that Irish game as a real chance? Because Scotland and Ireland have played each other so many times. So do you think they can really? It
depends on what we do to Ireland.
How badly we damage them.
If we dominate Ireland, because that's their next game, they'll have a week off. But if we dominate Ireland and they don't properly recover in those 12 days that they have off, and Scotland have a little bit of momentum behind them, you never know. The Scots are a wiry team.
You don't know what you're going to play. You don't know
exactly
what's going to show up.
So let's see. I mean, I'd love that. Imagine Ireland don't get through. Imagine Ireland and France don't get through. And it's Italy and Scotland.
But it's not beyond the realms of possibility because
nothing is. It's a Rugby World Cup.
Did you see the warm-up game between Scotland and France? Scotland they ran France ragged. They came close to making something very interesting happen there, and I don't know, man. I'm glad we played Scotland, bro. I'm glad we got through. We got it out the way.
Yeah, 100%. I think they're a wiry team. I mean, this weekend, it's not much. This Wales-Australia game is huge, as we mentioned a little bit earlier. Let's see what Australia can do. If Wales win, that's fine. They're a nothing team anyway in the quarterfinals. But I low-key just don't want Australia to get through the group, so then Eddie Jones has nothing. Because, like, that's what annoys me about Eddie Jones. Can I just get this out?
Yeah.
He has done nothing. What has he done? He won the Six Nations in 2016. That's it. That's all he done.
Oh, and come runner up like
made a World Cup final with a very good English team.
Yeah,
and they got kind of lucky that the All Blacks didn't storm them in that semi-final in 2019. And like he just rides on these waves of like prowess, and I'm like, what prowess?
Luck at a very weird time. But also, this game this weekend is also for the number one ranking, because the top 10 as follows after this round of fixtures is Ireland 91.82, South Africa 91.67. So whoever wins is going to be world number one.
No, 100%.
France 3, 90.59, New Zealand 4, Scotland 5, England 6, Wales 7. They went up 1. Fiji 8, they went up 1 after beating Australia. Australia down 2 to 9th in the world, and then Argentina round up the top 10.
Yeah. I mean, it's whatever happens. I do think South Africa have the edge. Scotland will smash Tonga. Wales, Australia. It's going to be a good game to watch. I'd like to watch that one. The rest aren't really anywhere. Yeah, I mean that's the last game. Wales, Australia. Georgia, Portugal. That actually could be an interesting one just for Gis. But I think Georgia should surely smash them.
Yeah, they should, because like Georgia have been playing rugby for how long?
And they're huge.
No, they
have you seen the Georgians?
No, the Georgians are massive.
Georgians will
big
eat
boys.
you.
No, they probably do eat people. They probably do eat people for breakfast.
High in protein. What?
But
we do not condone eating people.
But like,
unless you know what I'm saying.
Come on, what? What did you think of our penalty try? A lot of people are complaining about that one.
Oh, when it wasn't a yellow card.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not against that. It's Romania. If it was Ireland, I'd have a bit of a go. But it was Romania, so it didn't make much of a difference.
But
shame. They were basically playing with 12 people anyway.
No, yeah, right. Yeah, so we finished them, but
it should have been a yellow card.
Yeah, but no,
by
law. Yeah, but I mean, you can't kick Romania while they're down. Like, come on, you're already catching tickets. Like, like what happens, bro? But I just wish we put like 90 on them, bro. Like,
I'm not
I'm
too
impressed
worried
about the clean sheet. I'm impressed about the clean sheet.
Listen, there's one thing about South Africa is we still defend like beasts.
It's crazy.
We don't muck around when it comes to defense.
It's crazy. But like, no man, let's see what it does after the weekend, and then let's see how we going. And yeah, man.
Yeah, let's vibe. Hopefully, Andre Pollard gets a bit healthier.
And he does get a bit healthier, and then we give him some kicking. Actually, if we beat Ireland, I'd start Pollard. I wouldn't start Pollard, but like I'd bring him on the bench and like.
Yeah, but then he can play against Tonga.
Yeah, exactly. Playing against Tonga.
Also, protect money, because money Liebach will be a match winner for us in the World Cup.
Rassi's already playing his mind games. He's been saying a lot. I like it because it unsettles the Irish, and you know that guys from the north, they always take the bait when it comes to Rash. Every time they take the bait, and it's funny.
He is hyper intelligent.
And you know who our water boy is going to be on.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
he's going to have the lights. He's going to have LEDs. That he can switch up. It's just one light.
So I mean, they were planned, and I just like how the North talks. Like, guys, you only have one World Cup between like 700 of you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
We've got like the rest between the three of us. So like,
literally,
go bring it.
They really do. It's only one.
It's only England.
2003.
When Australia missed
the bed. That is
wild. Nobody else.
And that's true. Australia did mess the bed because they were at home.
Nobody else. And us in New Zealand, the only guys to go have three. And we've never lost the World Cup final.
I mean, I know that's the stat, but I've never thought about that stat. That's a beautiful stat to have.
Yeah, I know.
Hey? I mean, these French humans are like, we're going to win the... No, you know.
No, they forgot. Last time the World Cup was in France, who won it?
Exactly.
Who won it?
We have history, bruh.
Bro, you want us to win in France? You want us to win in South Africa? Where do you want us to win?
Yeah,
Tell us.
We are ready.
Anyway. Archie, I'm looking forward to it. Saturday's going to be a humdinger, for lack of a better term.
Big day. No, I love it.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, ladies, countrymen, like, share, tell a friend, be a friend, and we'll see you again for the next installment after South Africa do a madness to Ireland.
It's going to be beautiful.